What most people don't realize is that this feeling rarely comes from actual failure. It comes from internalized timelines that were never consciously chosen. Timelines absorbed from family, culture, social media, and stories we grew up watching. By the time we're adults, these timelines feel like facts instead of opinions. And once that belief settles in, your brain starts filtering reality through it. You don't just notice where you are, you notice where you aren't. You don't measure progress, you measure distance. Distance from where you think you should be. Psychologically, this creates something called temporal self-discrepancy. That's a complicated phrase for a very simple experience. The person you are today feels painfully out of sync with the person you thought you would be by now. And every day that gap feels wider, heavier, harder to ignore. People in this state often describe life as feeling stuck, even when they're technically moving. They're learning, working, surviving, improving in small ways, but none of it feels like it counts, because it doesn't match the imagined version of success they're holding themselves against. And here's the cruel part. The more behind you feel, the harder it becomes to move forward. Because feeling behind doesn't just hurt emotionally, it changes how your brain functions. When the mind believes it is failing a timeline, it enters a constant state of low-grade threat. Not panic, not fear you can name, just a persistent pressure in the background. This pressure narrows attention. It reduces creativity. It makes decisions feel heavier than they need to be. Suddenly, everything feels risky. Trying something new feels dangerous because what if it confirms you're already too late? Committing to a path feels terrifying because what if it's the wrong one and wastes even more time? Rest feels undeserved because you haven't earned it yet. So people freeze, not because they're lazy, not because they lack ambition, but because their nervous system is overloaded with the idea that time is running out. This is why so many people who feel behind also feel exhausted, even when their life doesn't look that demanding on the surface. They are constantly mentally rehearsing alternative lives. Lives where they started earlier, chose better, knew sooner, spoke up, took risks, didn't waste time. The brain doesn't experience these thoughts as imagination. It experiences them as loss. And grief, even imagined grief, is heavy. Another psychological layer that rarely gets talked about is how feeling behind often comes with a quiet sense of shame.